Ricky Gervais, a name that sparks laughter, controversy, and more recently, an unapologetic takedown of Hollywood's politics. Well, this time around, he didn't just throw shade, he stepped into the spotlight, stood before the biggest stars, and dared to say what no one else would right to their face. Classic Ricky, cutting through the pretense with a laugh and a bite.
If you do win tonight, remember that no one cares about that award as much as you do, okay? That award is, no offense, worthless. It's a bit of metal that some nice old confused journalists...
Not many celebrities have what it takes to take the stage and call out their peers right to their faces. That's exactly what this British-American comedian has been doing for years. The real question is why? What fuels his crusade against Hollywood's so-called woke culture? It takes a lot to stand against a tidal wave of people holding the same opinions. So what has him so charged up? Maybe it's the absurdity of a world where you can now get a degree in Taylor Swift studies. Ricky must be thinking, forget nuclear physics, let's learn about breakup anthems instead. When academia becomes pop culture trivia, it's no wonder he's on a mission to call it all out.
So this show is called Armageddon, and it's all about how I think humanity might end, because there's a long list of possibilities, you know. We're on a precipice, you know. It could be anything from global warming, the rise of the pandemic, you know, nuclear war, our own stupidity, basically, because we are getting more stupid as a species, no doubt about that. You can now do a university degree course in Taylor Swift. How fucking low academically can you go?
Take a look at Ricky's approach. He doesn't tiptoe around sensitive topics, but he sugarcoats it in the most beautiful way. He embraces his platform to hilariously but pointedly mock the influencers and celebrities pushing their political agendas onto the public. Do they mean well? Maybe, but according to Ricky, it's often less about actual change and more about self-serving virtue signaling. He makes his point so perfectly that you almost don't see the punchline coming. The good thing is that the punchline is always easy to infer, which is all that matters. Everyone's expressions say it all.
I think whereas people are now trying to be so politically correct, they're trying to out-woke each other. Soon someone's going to say, you can't say pedo anymore. It's a derogatory term. It offends people who are child addicted, right? So you're going to have people going to the doctor going, doctor, I think I'm child addicted, right? And doctor will go, oh, you poor thing. How do you feel? I feel like I want to fiddle with kids.
One unforgettable moment, Ricky pretended to be a Hollywood star delivering a mock-serious monologue shaming people for their political beliefs. It's pure satire, but the message he's shouting from the Hollywood sign is crystal clear. Don't try to push your thoughts and beliefs on others. It's not welcome. It's not about shutting anyone down, it's about highlighting the arrogance of those who think their opinions should shape everyone else's. Speak your mind, but don't try to make others feel bad.
Hi guys, Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. If you like your food, but you don't like exercise, you're probably piling on the pounds. And you get bigger and bigger, and soon you don't feel like exercise at all. And you think, what's the point? And you're embarrassed about going to the gym or being seen waddling along the road. Fat cunt.
And then there's the Golden Globes. Remember that iconic speech? Ricky didn't just roast Hollywood's politics, he set the room on fire. With his signature sarcasm, he told the world exactly how little these stars know about the real world. From calling them out on their education level to judging them on their materialistic beliefs, he didn't leave any stone unturned. He wasn't just poking fun, he was holding up a mirror, forcing Hollywood to confront its own bubble. And honestly, Ricky Gervais is probably one of the only people on this earth that can say that to some of the most famous celebrities ever and still not lose their entire career.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off.
But with every confrontation, there's a lot of backlash. Ricky's fearless commentary hasn't come without its share of controversy, whether it's his infamous dead naming of Caitlyn Jenner or his broader critiques of woke culture. People have been quick to call him out. Yet Ricky, he couldn't care less. He thrives on the outrage, using it to fuel his comedy and expose what he sees as the hypocrisy of the woke crowd. His motto has always been quite similar to speak your mind and leave everyone else alone. Take his views on dead naming, for instance. Ricky doesn't shy away from questioning the logic of erasing someone's history to fit a narrative. He points out the absurdity of pretending Bruce Jenner didn't exist for 58 years. It's not about disrespecting who she is right now, it's about grasping the true reality of life, even when it's uncomfortable. Now, before we move on, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button.
Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So... it's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They come on, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously.
And here's where Ricky really pulls back the curtain on woke culture. He sees it as less about fighting for minorities and more about showcasing moral superiority. How often have we seen people use causes as tools to boost their own egos? Most celebrities stand on stage with their heads held high, talking about difficult things in the world. But is it to help or to make them look good? Ricky doesn't mince words. To him, the woke movement has become more about silencing dissent than sparking meaningful dialogue.
Because they want a celebrity feud, you know? It was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host, just don't let her drive. Another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline, and they added me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just sent back, at last. She always breaks too late.
What really irks him, though, is the performative outrage. Have you noticed how some people seem to search for reasons to be offended? Ricky has, and he's not having it. For him, comedy is a space to challenge ideas, not cater to fragile feelings. But here's the million-dollar question. Is Ricky right? While others are fighting alongside Ricky, trying to tear everyone down and fight for what they believe is right. One thing's for sure, he's not stopping anytime soon. And if you've been following his career, you know he's just getting started.
I was listening to the radio in England a few weeks back, Radio 4, quite highbrow. There was a discussion about political correctness. My name came up straight away, right? And there was this woman on there going, oh yeah, well it's not right. Ricky Gervais, he makes jokes about fat people. He wouldn't make jokes about gay people, would he?
So, what do you think? Is Ricky Gervais the voice of reason in a world gone mad? Or is he taking his jokes too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss what we have coming next. Ricky might be stirring the pot, but isn't that exactly why we can't look away?